Edgar, how are you?
I'm good, DJ. How about yourself, man?
Pretty good.
Right on. Well, happy
How's
Wednesday.
Yeah, you too. This week's
Thanks.
just cruising.
I know, it's great. The sunshine has been fabulous, just getting out there and enjoying the fresh air.
It really has. I know today's beautiful.
Nice. Did you do any fishing recently?
A week and a half ago, caught 7 fish
Woo! All right.
in about
You
an
got
hour. Yeah, it
Whoa.
was real fishing action.
That's sweet. Well, you'll have to teach me your secrets
You been playing
because
any soccer?
I'm about to get back into it. Yes. I've got a new jersey coming in. I like to get a new jersey every once in a while. It just makes you a little bit more excited.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, hello everybody. I think we're having some folks trickle in.
hmm
We got another minute or so, and then we'll get started.
Yes, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great week thus far, and hopefully wherever you are, the weather's good, and you had a wonderful Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We'll still say Happy late Mother's Day. Hope you had a great weekend.
Absolutely. Did you see your mom?
I did not, but I get the chance to this weekend, so I'm really excited
Well,
about that.
good. Good. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yes. Did you?
I did.
Nice.
I did. It was great. Yeah, we had a big um like family gathering because we hadn't seen anybody in a long time.
Yeah.
So we all got together outside and that was really great. So yeah, it was good.
Right on. Well, wonderful.
All right, we'll give it just a few more seconds and then we'll get cruising.
Yeah.
You're looking sharp, Edgar.
Thank you. Likewise to you. We got someone in the chat. Woohoo, 20s and 30s, those were the years. Welcome. Well, we're going to share some tips today for the 20 and 30-year-olds in your life. If they're with you, hopefully they can take some good notes, or they're welcome to chat with us after this webinar as well. So welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's focused on for folks in their 20s and 30s, but
hmm
this is just good information.
Yeah,
So it can work no matter where you are. And then
absolutely.
we wanted to mention that if you do have questions, we're going to take those at the end. So just go ahead and type it in the chat, and then we'll circle back to those once we finish up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get going, Edgar. So my name's DJ. I'm our portfolio manager and wealth advisor here at Financial Freedom. I have been here for 6 years. I love my job. I love our clients and love helping everybody out. So, Edgar?
Yes, and yeah, my name is Edgar Villegas. I'm a wealth advisor here, and you may notice underneath that title it says asesor financiero. So I am also bilingual. I'm able to speak in Spanish. So if you're bilingual or have a preference for Spanish, I am here and able to serve you as well. I've been with the company now coming up on 3 years, and I agree with you, DJ. I love the work. I love the people. Our clients are great, and I'm really looking forward to providing some education. This is actually probably my most favorite part of the job, and it's just helping people, providing good sound tips, and just engaging with the community. It's great.
Absolutely. So Financial Freedom was founded in 2000. Julia Carlson started it over in Newport, Oregon. It's on the coast. And we are a comprehensive wealth management firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term success and pursue financial freedom. In short, we help you plan for your future so that you can enjoy your life. We want to enhance your life along the way. We have 7 wealth advisors and then 9 support staff, and we help clients all over the country. This is basically a snapshot of who we are. So our core values, our commitment, really we hire, fire, and reward based on these right here. So this is us. We, treat all people with respect all the time, never compromise our integrity. Very important in this business and just in life. We delight our clients no matter what it is you're doing, any interaction you have with us. We want you to feel delighted from that. And then embrace our team culture. We do work as a team here at Financial Freedom. We're very close. And so we call it the bus. If you want to be on our bus, you really have to embody all of this. Our focus is to create a plan for your dreams and inspire you to pursue financial freedom. And our commitments to care deeply about you and your financial life. You know, it's more than just money management. We're here to care about you, care about your beneficiaries, and that's what we do.
Yes.
So we have a lot of services. Again, I mentioned we're very comprehensive. It's a wide range of services that we provide. This is just a few of them. Investment management is a big piece of it, but again, not all that we do. We help people with family wealth and legacy planning, retirement income and distribution planning. We do a lot of educational events like we're in right now. We want to keep you educated. Things change in this industry a lot as well. And so we'll always be, you know, that constant communication and changing with the times. We help you with your tax reduction planning. We're not CPAs, but we can, you know, speak to that a bit. And then maybe you're a business owner, we can help you grow your business. And then Edgar's going to take it away here for some financial realities.
Yes, thanks, DJ. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is a lot of us in our 20s and 30s are paying a lot of consumer debt. So as you can see on the slide, 26% of the average paycheck goes towards just paying consumer debt. And what that looks like is the average American millennial has an average net worth of less than $8,000, which when you look at the top fact makes sense. If you are spending all that you make on living expenses, paying off your debts, there might be a mortgage in there, and then just living your life, you may not have a whole lot of room for saving. And that can be for your retirement or a bunch of other things. So net worth of less than $8,000 for millennials at this point. And of the survey that was taken, 46% of millennials said that they aren't saving enough money. So the good news is there seems to be a realization that something needs to happen. But unfortunately, 39% of the people surveyed said that they expect to be forced to work beyond their retirement ages or their expected retirement age. So it's clear that there's a shortage of savings, and it's good to see that there's an awareness of the fact that there's a shortage as well. And as we'll see on the next slide, here are the top 3 things millennials are currently saving for. These are their top financial goals. So the top one is debt repayment. So the cost of attending a university or any sort of schooling that's advanced has gone up. So we tend to have quite a bit of debt. Travel is a second thing, which actually is quite nice. You know, we're getting out there, we're seeing the world, but it does come at an expense, and it seems to be something that people in their 20s and 30s are giving priority to. And the third point is increasing the amount they save for retirement. So this is actually a good thing. We know there's a shortage of retirement savings. We're spending more time paying off debts, but the good news is there seems to be some sort of shift towards maybe saving for the future, saving for retirement. And a lot of the times, one of the questions that I get is, well, how do I do that? I know I need to. How much do I need? How do I even get started? How do I control my finances? Because I get my check one day and then the next day it seems like it's gone away. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. DJ's going to take some time now to talk about a healthy money mindset.
Thank you, Edgar. That was good. Yeah, so healthy money mindset. It starts there, it really does. Financial stress is real, and you're not alone if you're feeling it. When people talk about their health and wellness, they generally think of things like exercise, nutrition, going to the doctor, getting checkups, things like that. They generally don't think about, well, what's in my bank account or in my investment accounts. And yet financial health is a big piece of your overall well-being. And again, a lot of us struggle with it. So nearly 3 in 4 adults worry about money. It's most of us.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the dollars and cents. So financial stress can affect other areas of your life, like your mental and physical health. And that's so true. One study found, this is incredible, one study found that people who had serious financial stress were 13 times more likely to have a heart attack. So I mean, your body feels that, it really does. So this stress comes from worrying about, paying rent, paying off debts. Do I have enough money to live on in retirement? All kinds of things. And this can strain your social relationships, your job performance, and even your general ability to find joy in life. So this is all scary stuff. I'm not just trying to scare you, because there's a flip side. Feeling good about your finances can take away that pain, that stress, and really enhance the joy in your life. So the challenge is learning how to go from financial unwellness to financial well-being. It can be small steps. That's what we help people with, and we want you to get there. Step 1, figure out your financial goals. Write them down. We've all heard this so many times. Your goals aren't real until you write them down. So this is obviously not just financial goals, just in general, the kind of person you want to be, the relationships you want to have, what you want to accomplish in life. It's important that you write them down. Look at those. They become real when you do that. Maybe you have a dream of owning a home. That's the majority of Americans. Do you want to travel every year? Do you want your children to go to college? Maybe you want to go to college. Whatever your personal goals are, again, you need to write them down and then put together a plan to achieve those. Maybe you have a goal of retiring early. I talk to a lot of people like that. I want to retire when I'm 40 or 50. Well, that's a big goal, and it's definitely doable, but you got to have a plan. You got to work it to get there. Again, owning a house. This is, most of us have this. It's kind of a dream for us, right? Owning your own home. This is generally the largest purchase most of us will make in our lives. Now you have to put together a plan for, how am I going to save for that down payment? How is my credit score? Is that going to keep me from getting the home that I want? What's going on in the housing market? It's pretty wild out there right now. I mean, these housing prices just go up every day. But these are all things that you need to take into account and include in part of your plan. Maybe you have a goal for starting your own business. You're an entrepreneur. You have a great idea. You want to be self-employed. You want to have a set of employees and help change their lives. That's all great. You just need a plan. So sit down, figure out what you want to do. It can be, what's my 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, 30 year, goals. That's a great way to do it. And Edgar, you're going to talk about some tips here.
Yeah. So as DJ just mentioned, it's important to have goals, and getting them on paper, having a vision board, if you will, is really important. A roadmap of where you see yourself in the near and long-term future. So let's dive into more of a money plan. So my first tip here is, when you're trying to achieve those goals, it's important to have them down to understand where you're trying to get to. And if it's a financial goal, how do we accomplish those needs? How do we get there? So the first thing is, create a money plan. And when you do this, it could also be called a budget. It's important to think of it in terms of a month, 30 days or so. Because one thing about budgets is, we are looking for progress and not perfection. So every 30 days, you get another chance to try again. You can create your budget, and if you meet your goals, great. If you overspend a little bit, well, the good news is you get another chance to try it. We make a lot of plans for a lot of different things in our lives. For example, careers, weight loss, opening a business, or even just your day-to-day tasks. We have to complete a lot of different things in our lives, and a list tends to be a way that we track what we've done. But for some reason, we don't make a list or a budget for our money, and that can actually cause a problem in the long term. So, how do you make a budget? How do you make a money plan? Well, the first place you can start immediately is with your current income and your current expenses. So, most of us have expenses and needs that change every single month. You have birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, vacations, holidays, the list goes on, which is why it's important to refresh your budget every 30 days so that you can keep up with the complexities of life, but also the changing moments and situations that come up. So start there. What are your incomes? What is your expenses? And then you should utilize a zero-based budget plan, which means you tell your income where it needs to go, and every dollar has a purpose. So it can be your mortgage or your rent, groceries, and all of your utilities. And then you can also have a budget section for savings or retirement or that vacation that you want to take. The point is, you create a list, you create a budget, and you tell your money where to go instead of it telling you where it went at the end of the month. You want to be able to look back and say, I spent X amount on eating out and I stuck to my budget, or maybe you didn't, but you got to try again. That's the good news. But taking control of your dollars is very important, especially when it comes to the long term success of your retirement and your future endeavors. Don't let those dollars tell you where they went. You tell them where they go.
Love that,
Yeah.
Edgar. Love that right there.
Yeah. So, when you're building your budget, what are things you can save for? Well, the first one is emergencies. That's one thing. An emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, is a good place to start. The reason is if something happens, it gives you a better chance of staying out of debt. For example, if your car goes down and you need a water pump or something, having some money in the bank for those situations is good because it might reduce the probability of having to take out a loan and put it on a credit card. Purchases. So, like I talked about, you want to buy some land, a house, you name it, you can save for it. And sometimes people just save to build wealth, to leave behind to their family, leave behind to a nonprofit. You can do whatever it is that you'd like with your funds. And sometimes just saving to save is a good idea. So, those are three of the common things that we see. And there are many more just depending on you as an individual. So, now, DJ, you can take it from here. Should we
Yeah.
pay off debt or invest?
Ooh, I love this one. Now, before I move on, I did want to touch on the whole budgeting thing.
Hmm.
So I've tried a bunch of different resources out there. So
Yeah.
many apps that you can do where you can actually link your accounts. I think it's great. It didn't work for me for some reason. I feel like I might be old school. I found something online where it's very detailed of all these different expenses, and it's just got your months,
Hmm.
and you go in there and put in the dollars, and then it'll tell you if you're net or negative at the end. I've been doing that, and that's what I like. But again, there's a lot of different ways to do it. So just try different things, keep tweaking it, switching it up until you find something that works for you.
Absolutely. And it can take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. Budgets are sometimes things that take months to adjust to, but there's a lot of freedom and relief that comes with knowing that you control your dollars. So it is worth the effort. So many ways to get there.
hmm Okay, so we get this question a lot. Should I pay off debt or invest my extra money? It's a really good question. Now, I do want to start off by saying there's a lot that goes into this, and it does depend. So it's important that you talk to somebody about your situation to find out what's best for you. We're going to throw a couple of different things at you here just to think about, but again, it's very situational. A lot that goes into it.
Mhm.
So on the debts, Edgar, you kind of were mentioned that there's a lot of debt out there.
Yes.
This stat's pretty amazing. So in the age range of 21 to 34 years old, that they hold 31% of all US consumer debt,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Pretty amazing. The average student loan is $30,000. So a lot of this debt is in the younger demographic. School loans aren't the only debt though. Credit cards, a huge one. You can see on this graphic here, the average credit card interest rate's about 15%. It's just, that's high. That's very high. That's a big expense. And so for people born in the 80s and 90s, the average credit card debt is about $3,500. So, at 15% there too, that's a big cost. So it's important that you do clear your debts. You got to pay your debts. But sometimes it can maybe make sense to do a couple different things at once. So if you've got a bunch of credit card debt, 15% interest, I would focus there. That's probably, you want to get that off your plate. That is a huge cost. As you can see on the far right bar there, the average stock market return has been about 10% per year for the last 100 years. So 15%, you're not going to beat that. That's a big cost. Probably should put most of your focus there. Now, if you have something less than 3%, some student loans, maybe a car, your mortgage, it's important that you do pay those, but it's not costing you a whole lot to have that. So it may make sense for you to maybe do some of both. Maybe you're paying that down. Maybe you're also investing for retirement, as you can likely beat that in the stock market. Again, nothing's guaranteed, but we can look back at history. So it really depends again on your interest rate and also your goals. Some people are, hey, this all debt, I hate it. I want it gone. I want to be debt free in 5 years. Great. That's one of your goals. We'll help you get there. Other people may be, you know what, I'm okay having a small interest rate loan. I want to build some retirement and get that nest egg going. That's okay too. So very situational. There's no right or wrong answer. Come talk to us. We'll help you put together a plan to reach all the goals that you want to reach. So investing for your future. This is really the fun part. Once you really do start putting your money to work, watching it grow, I mean, it's so much fun. You want to make sure that all your basics are covered. Like Edgar was talking about, have your budget, make sure you're paying for the things that you need to pay for. And then put that money to work, and that extra money, watch that grow, start getting that going for your future. Great way to do this is to automate your savings, your retirement savings, where it just comes out of your check automatically. Nothing you have to go in there and do. You don't go in there each month and say, I want to invest this month. It just happens. So 401ks, it's set up that way. You don't even see that money in your check. If you're putting 5% into your 401k, you don't see that. So it just is, it's part of your budget. If you are investing in some IRAs, maybe Roth IRAs, we're going to talk about these here in a bit. That does come from your actual bank account, and you can set those up automatically, where money just goes into your account on the 5th of every month or 15th, whatever you want to do. That way you don't have to think about it. It's a great way to do it. It's called dollar cost averaging, actually, where you are consistently investing money in the stock market. Doesn't matter what the market's doing, you're just going to invest that amount each month. It's going to happen. Great way to build a good nest egg for your future. As far as how much you should be saving, there's no right answer. Just do something. A good start is 5%. 15% is really ideal. There's been some studies done that they say if you invest 15% of your income for all of your working years, you're going to have a great retirement. But again, it has to work with your budget and what some of your other goals are. Just do something, even if it's 1%. It's better than doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
And there's other goals. So it's not just retirement, as we were talking about before. Maybe you have a down payment that you're saving for in 10 years. That can be automated. Maybe you want to buy some land. Maybe you want to, again, pay for your kids' college. This is all stuff where you can put together the plan, have it automatically set up. It's part of your budget. You don't have to think about it. So let's talk about investing in your future specifically for retirement. So what is a retirement account? Well, it's essentially a tax advantaged account. The government is saying, we want you to be successful. We want you to save for retirement. We're going to give you some kind of tax help. But the deal is you can't touch it until you're actually in retirement. So there's these weird numbers, 59 and a half. They like that, these halves. The IRS loves these half numbers. So there's some other rules too, but really, if you use it before then, you could be penalized. So money that goes into these retirement accounts, think of that. That's not my money. That's from my future self.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two main ways to access these types of accounts. You've got through your employers and then on your own. So through your employer, these are 401ks, 403bs, 457s, pensions, all kinds of different plans. And not everybody has them. It's up to the employer if they offer it. But that's where a lot of people's retirement money is. Now, on the other side, you have these individual retirement accounts. So it's not tied to an employer. You really just have to have earned income to add to something like this. And there's two kinds, IRAs. There's traditionals and Roths, and I'll explain those here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another great way to help build your retirement nest egg. But again, think tax help. That's really what it's about. So within these 401ks and IRAs and Roth IRAs, there's two different types of tax advantages. There's pre-tax, and then there's after-tax or Roth. So a lot of your 401ks may actually have both options. Not all, but some, or a lot of them have a pre-tax and a Roth option. And then as far as IRAs, you have traditional IRAs, which is a pre-tax, and then you have Roth IRAs, which is the after-tax. So pre-tax or traditional, money goes in, you don't pay tax on it today. So you're actually receiving tax help right now, today, and this year. Then it grows tax deferred, meaning you don't have to pay tax on it as you go. It's kind of, I actually think of it as this, maybe this bubble, right? That you're protected from the IRS. They can't access that money. Now, once you go and use it in retirement, that's when they take their piece, and you'll pay whatever tax rates are that year.
Mm-hmm.
Roth is the opposite. Money that goes into a Roth, you're going to pay tax on those dollars that go in. So no tax help today, but it grows tax-free, which is an incredible benefit. Who knows what tax rates may be down the road? You know, you get to avoid all that. You get to avoid paying tax on all the growth. They're generally great for younger people that have a longer time to build their retirement account. So that's just a quick rundown. Which one is right for you? Again, very situational, and you need to talk to a professional that can look at all the other pieces and make sure that that does make sense for you. Okay, so this is of the growth of a dollar in the stock market and bond market, various investments. I love looking at these graphs. They really never get old to me. 1926 is as far back as we can essentially track data. So that's the beginning of this right here, 1926. And you have all kinds of different lines. So if you look in that top left, you see the compound annual returns. Small companies have done the best, 11.8% per year during this time period. Then you have large companies right at 10. And then you get into these bonds and bills, which are very conservative bonds. And then you've got your inflation right about 3%. So each of these does something differently. And what's right for you and how much you should have of each different type of investment depends on what you're saving for and your time frame, and also your risk tolerance. So you see those top two lines there. They've had the best growth. $1 invested in a small cap fund turns into over $32,000 in 2018. That is some growth. That is incredible. $1. Wow. Large companies, $1 turns into more than $7,000. Now, with these types of investments, they've had the best returns over time, but they have a lot of ups and downs along the way. So, get ready for a bumpy ride. But if you have time, your retirement money, you're 30 years old and you're saving for retirement, you got 30 years, that might be a better investment for you because again, you have time, you've got a lot of time. And so you can really invest to make the most over those 30 years. Now, if you're closer to retirement or you're in retirement or you're saving for maybe a down payment, much shorter time frame, that risk, that volatility might not be right for you. So that's where you do have other options. Bonds are more stable. You can see that with these lines, the green and the orange. Now they don't make as much, but you get that stability along the way. So those are for, again, better for shorter time frames. Talk to somebody about what it is that you're saving for and about your risk tolerance. Are you okay watching your account go up and down a little bit in the short term to find out what mix is right for you? Could be that you have some of each of these in your accounts. And that's what that's one of the big things that we do is we help people put together their portfolios based on their situation and what's right for them.
Right. And then it's also important to, when you look at this graph, it can be hard to go through the ups and downs if you're in the volatile investments. It is emotionally, mentally exhausting. But here's the thing, perspective is everything. If you have those 30 years like DJ was talking about, you see the benefit of holding over the long term. It is difficult to do for some, but with proper guidance and with the right plan and a good partner in your financial advisor or your financial advising team, together we can maneuver the difficult times and make sure you have peace of mind as you go through your accumulation years of retirement assets or assets in general. So and it can be an exciting buying opportunity when the markets are a little bit down. You never know. It's all situational. And it's important that you get the advice at that time. But, those downturns can be exciting buying opportunities, and seeing it play out over the long term and having the perspective of your goals being 20, 30 years out with a great team and a good plan, you can be successful. But it can be difficult at times, which is what we're here for, to give you peace of mind.
Those are wonderful points, Edgar. I'm happy you mentioned that. So as you said, they're great opportunities where if you're doing the automated investing, the dollar cost averaging, where you have money going in every single month, when we do go through these market pullbacks, like Edgar said, it's not fun, but you can remember, hey, I have money going in. I'm actually buying additional shares on a huge sale. And you'll actually have more money in the end because of times like that, as long as you're taking advantage and investing. So good stuff, Edgar.
Yes.
Power of compound interest. We've all heard about compound interest. Essentially, this is money that you've made from investing continues to grow and earn more money. So numbers can get pretty big without you having to add any more money in. So here we have an investor, the top, who invests $10,000 at age 25. That's it. He lets that sit. At age 45, and this is an 8% return per year. Remember, the stock market's done 10, but we'll look at 8% here. It's grown to 46,000. Pretty darn good. At age 65, more of a retirement, average retirement year, $217,000. That $10,000 initial investment. So really great growth. Now, if that same investor invested the $10,000 at age 35, so just 10 years later, still letting that sit for 30 years, they have $100,000, a little over $100,000. So you can see that getting started as soon as possible, getting started today can save you a whole lot. It's hard to catch up if you wait. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. You have this investor that, again, invests automatically each month, and they invest $10,000 per year from age 25 all the way to 65. 8%, they'd have $2.8 million. I think that's a good amount to live off of. I like that. I like those numbers. So remember, keep investing, keep doing it. It's so important.
Yes.
Now, another piece of your, your financial picture is life insurance. We sell life insurance as well. There's a lot of different options out there. They can be confusing. Come talk to us about what's right for you. Life insurance is weird. I guess all insurance is weird. It's one of those things where you almost hope it's a waste. You do hope it's a waste, but things do happen. Life happens, and it's important to plan for it, especially if you have people that depend on you. Maybe you have a kid that you just had.
Yeah.
You need to plan for the worst, and life insurance can be great for that. Most people, a lot of us don't have it. Not enough of us have it.
Mhm.
We really like term insurance. It's
Yes.
simple, it's low cost, it's easy. I mean, it's easy to set up, and it's pretty straightforward.
Mhm.
But again, it depends on your situation, and you should at least have the conversation. Is life insurance right for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you bring up that point. Sometimes it's not the best thing to talk about planning for the worst, whether it's through life insurance or financial matters. But, you know, as advisors, we're willing to have those tough conversations to make sure you and your family are taken care of if that were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're willing to have those conversations in a safe environment so that we can properly plan for your financial future. So I'm glad we're bringing up life insurance at this
Right.
moment.
Right. And it can enhance your life, even though there's no direct benefit. You're paying for it along the way, but just having that peace of mind, feeling good and confident that you know that your loved ones are taken care of should something happen.
Mhm. Alrighty, so we've gone over quite a bit today, so we hope you find some value in some of those topics, if not all of them. But let's kind of bring it back in. Let's kind of recap. So remember, the first thing is change does not happen overnight. We're looking for progress and not necessarily perfection when you have a budget and you're trying to achieve something. Most people want a budget and they expect it to fix life for them and work miracles. But budgets take time to adjust to, and the mindset that you need to have to stick to that budget is also very important. So it is not going to happen overnight, but just like investing for the long term, there can be wonderful benefits over the long term. And then your spending is tied to your priorities. Uh, where you spend can be an indicator of where your passions are. So even if it's careless spending, if it's still of value to you or if it solves a problem, it's important to maybe consider that as a line item for your budget. But your spending is tied to your priorities. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're developing your budgets. What do you value the most? Those should be at the top of your list, and stick with it. Life happens, as we saw last year. Um, People losing jobs, health situations. The plan can be adjustable and it can be fluid, but you just have to stick with it. If you stop, that is when you guarantee that there will be minimal progress because you were no longer following the path and the steps you had set forward. So do your best to stick with it, even if you need a moment to take a step back and regather yourself. Um, and to make lasting change, you must embrace the facts. That is important. So it's like when we go on a diet with the goal of losing weight, you first have to step on the scale and face the realities of where you are now at this very moment. But from that point on, you can begin to experience the changes and be happy with your progress and enjoy the process of creating that change. But you can't do that if you don't know where you're starting from. So you have to embrace where you are now so that you can make meaningful changes moving forward. And the last thing is remember, tell your money where to go. Don't let it tell you where it went. If there's anything I would like someone to get out of this, it's that. Let you take control of your money. Don't let it control you. And a budget is a great way to do that. So we have many resources for all of you, clients or not. We do these webinars and we will continue to do so. We have financial blogs. Our CEO, Julia, does a great job of posting really educational information through blogs and posts. We have our annual tax guides and our quarterly market updates. And as always, these resources can be found on our website, which is listed on the screen in front of you. So we do more than just these live events. We have a lot of resources available, and our past webinars are also on the website. So if you missed this one, hopefully you can catch the replay, or you can always send someone to our website to do a replay of this one as well. So if you're sitting there now, or you think you know of someone who could benefit from maybe getting started with saving for their retirement or their future, we invite you to schedule an appointment and give us the opportunity first to do some discovery, get to know who you are and get to know your situation, and possibly discuss our guided wealth portfolios investment platform. We abbreviate it and call it GWP. And the benefit here is you get a diversified investment portfolio that's tailored to you. You get to work with one of us, one of our advisors here on the team, and it only takes $5,000 to get started. And again, the first thing you need to do is step on the scale. Where are you? So whether you need some guidance to create a roadmap to get you to this starting spot, let us know. But if you're also at that point where you're ready to invest, this could be an option for you, and we'd be more than happy to have a complimentary consultation to review your situation. So if you're interested in coming in for a phone call or a Zoom appointment, you're welcome to text GWP with no spaces to 458-777-4458. And we will actually get a message back to you with the ability to schedule an appointment with one of our wealth advisors. It is a free complimentary consultation for you being here at this webinar. There is no charge, and we'll be able to spend some time reviewing your situation and just having a conversation about what matters to you.
LPL Financial. So that is our broker dealer. If you have accounts with us, your securities are actually held with LPL. They were a merger formed by Linsco and Private Ledger, which gave it to LPL Financial. And they are the largest independent broker dealer in the country. So what I mean by independent is they do not have any proprietary products, which is one of the big reasons why we love them so much. There's nothing from LPL, no LPL funds that we're pushing to sell any of our clients. We can really go out there and find the best for all of our clients, put together our models, our portfolios, and we feel good about that. They are SIPC membership for 500,000 account protection, private insurance for 575 million. And again, your securities are actually held with LPL. And here we have some disclosures for you guys. We won't go through all of them.
We can speed read them. Come on.
I know. We need to start practicing that. You got to get it in 5 seconds, Edgar.
Got it.
But yeah, so that's what we have for you guys today. We appreciate you spending some time with us. We hope you found it valuable.
Yes, but we have some questions as well, so we're not quite done.
Let's do it.
All right, DJ, let's see. So first question, but yes, before we get to those, thank you for all of you who are here today. If you need to go, hope you have a wonderful day, but please stick around for questions if you can. So the first one is, if my rate is 6% in my student loan, should I do both or focus more on the loan? So I think it's, if you have a 6% interest rate on your loan, should you invest, pay off your loan, or do both?
So that's where you're in that middle ground. It's not a super high interest rate. You're not down there at 2 or 3%. You need to come talk to us. We really do
Yes.
need to find out more about your situation. I can't give you a straight answer right now,
Yeah.
but it may be that doing a little bit of both can help. When you're investing, time in the market is really the best asset that you have. And so
Yeah.
that's where it can maybe make sense to do a little bit of both. Come talk to us though.
Yes, loans and things like that are case by case. For example, the principal, the amount that you owe, if you're in the six figures, that's a lot different than if it was $5,000. But then you also have the interest rate and your life. So as DJ said, just text GWP to the number on the screen. You're welcome to have a conversation with us. And if you happen to be a client, just let us know. We can get an appointment on the calendar and discuss that situation as well. So the next question, what if I have a variable life policy? Should I change it to the term you're talking about?
So again, come talk to us.
Yes.
Everything in this industry is so situational. That
Yeah.
may be what's right for you. But we need to find out more about the policy you have, more about your
Yes.
goals with that policy. There's a lot that goes into it. We'd be happy to, again, set up an initial consultation free of charge to chat with you about it.
Yes, absolutely. The more details we have, the better we can provide advice. And let's see, keep the questions coming if you guys would like. This is the final one that I have currently. Uh, Pros and cons in investing through employer 401k with no match versus outside of the employer with an agency like us. Which is the best if you can only afford to invest through one, or is it best to do a combination between the employer and outside of the 401k?
Good question.
Very great question.
So I would always start with your employer plan if they offer a match.
Yes.
That is free money right there.
Mhm.
Another way to look at it is it's 100% return on your money. If you put in 3%, you automatically get another 3%. Can't find that anywhere else. So you definitely want to start there. And then what you do next, yes, you could keep deferring more to your plan, or you could come work with a firm like us. The benefit of working with us is we can help you with some of the other pieces as well, more of the planning piece.
Mhm.
And so, again, just come talk to us and we can help you decide if it's what's right.
Yeah, wonderful question. Thank you for that one. And then we have another one that just came in. Could you talk about the cost of having a portfolio with us? Do you provide financial planning separate from portfolio management?
So we have a number of different platforms and the costs do vary.
Yes.
With the guided wealth portfolios that Edgar was just talking about, the cost is 0.98%, so
Hmm.
just under 1% per year.
Hmm.
Now there's some other platforms that may be better suited for you, and generally our fees are between that 1 and 1.75%. But again, it really depends. You need to have a conversation with us. What was the second part?
Do we do financial planning separate from portfolio management?
So there's always a level of financial planning that goes into it.
Hmm.
How much you need, depends on your situation. But again, we manage the money. We will also talk you through a plan to help you reach your goals.
Yes.
It's not just, hey, give us your money, we're going to manage it for you. We want to help you achieve your goals. So that generally is included.
Yeah, so it boils down to your specific situation, the cost, the investments, the plan. We tailor it to where you are in life, and we can come together during one of those consultations and formulate a financial plan, but also give you an estimate of what it would cost you to move forward with said plans. So
Hmm.
we welcome that appointment, and we're willing to walk through that guided journey together with you. We have another question here. If we are trying to invest 15% of our total income, do we include our pension and social security in that 15% or only a portion of
Another good question.
that?
Social Security, no. I would really the 15%, if that's your goal, make that of your own income that's coming in.
Hmm.
Social Security, yeah, that would be separate. For your pension, it gets a little tricky. It depends on how the pension's constructed. A lot of pensions are fully from the employer, where you may not be deferring anything into your pension. Sometimes you have to defer a piece. I really like trying to do 15% of your income into, your retirement. So may not include pensions,
Mhm.
more like 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Another example of that is if your company gives you a 3% contribution into your 401k without you having to do anything, that 3% should not be considered towards your 15. It has to be money that comes out of your pocket, if you will, going into retirement assets. So that's another way to visualize it. So it's what you put in from your salary or however you generate income.
Hmm.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I don't see any more questions. But if you're typing those, feel free to do so. We'll give it here a few more moments. But as we've seen, a lot of the things related to finance are dependent on you as an individual and your family. So um, this is what we love to do. We love to talk through the details and come up with a plan and make sure that you can live comfortably, but also know that you have a trusted partner in terms of your finances and financial freedom.
Well
So
said.
yeah, so I don't see any more questions. So thank you to everybody who was with us today. It was a pleasure to spend this time with all of you, and just thank you for being here.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day. A good week.
All righty, everybody, take care. Thank you.